Hello everyone, welcome to Red Snapper. My name's MJ and it's a very exciting day because the brand new leaks are here. Massive shout out and thank you to Snap.fan, Sanctanglia and all of those folks who bring us these leaks of upcoming cards in Marvel Snap. Couple of addendums or notes that we need to put at the start of this video. First and foremost, we did not get artwork in these particular leaks, so I've just rustled up some artwork. Basically, I don't know if anyone else is a visual learner like this, but I literally can't even understand cards unless I'm literally looking at them. So I've just grabbed like some random Rivals artwork and other random Marvel artwork and rustled up these images. And also, these are leaks. Things might change, but this is what we know so far. July is a Fantastic Four First Steps season, and we are getting brand new versions of the Fantastic Four. I know that subject is a little bit contentious. Some people don't like receiving new versions of the same characters. I will be completely honest, guys. I bloody love it. I'm in the love it camp. Bring it on. I think Marvel Snap is doing a great job of highlighting obscure characters and balancing that in with popular characters. And whilst I see people say, oh, where is X card? I don't think you can put all of the popular characters that we don't have in a row. You need to disperse it, and having new versions of popular characters is a great way to do it, in my humble opinion. Anyway, so what was the other thing I was going to mention? Oh yeah, the August season is also a Fantastic Four season. It's actually well, kind of adjacent. It's a Heralds of Galactus season, so we're getting like Airwalker, Firelord, Terrax. You know Terrax is going to control rocks. I'm calling it right now. We'll look at one of our other cards in this video who's also to do with rocks. Anyway, I've spoken enough. Let's talk about the Season Pass card. I've been tantalising you with it on the screen this whole time. I've given him 6 stars. It's Mr. Fantastic First Steps. Or First Steps Mr. Fantastic, I'm not sure what the order of those words are. Anyway, he's a 2/3, end of turn, give a card in your hand +2 power or -1 cost. Yes, I have given him 6 stars. I might be a little bit heavy-handed with this, but I just think he works with so many decks. Like, this is such a good, broadly, like, generic, fantastic card. Like, if you can get him on curve, he potentially pays for himself, so he's free, and then either he's given like a couple of, you know, once he's got that -2 cost, which you're getting on turns 3, 4 and 5, let's remember, well, sorry, turns 2, 3, 4 and 5, so there's 4 turns where you're going to benefit from him, so he could give -2 cost, making himself free, kind of, and then +4, so he's like, what, he's like a 0/7, seems pretty good to me, guys. But yeah, I think the archetypes is going to work well in obviously buff decks. So any deck where you want to multiplicate the buffs that you're doing, like Brood, on Sinister, on Captain Carter, etc., etc. Anything like that will be good. I think Silver Surfer absolutely bloody loves this card. I think Silver Surfer uses this as its new de facto 2-drop, and a new archetype that you'll see. I think, thus far in the game, we haven't had anything that ties end of turn cards together, but that all changes this season, and so they now, that keyword will essentially become an archetype, as you'll see as we go through these. But yeah, Mr. Fantastic looks fantastic. Then we move on to the cards that are going to be available in the Seasonal Series 5 Snap Packs. So these are the weekly season releasing cards. First up is HERBIE, so I think he's releasing in the same week as Mr. Fantastic. HERBIE is a 2/2. Each turn this is in play, swap to a new activate ability until one is used. So I presume it will trigger at the beginning of the turn. So you play him on turn 2, and then from turn 3, you'll be able to activate him, and he'll have one of these 4 abilities. Activate. Next turn, you get +2 energy. Activate. Give your cards at adjacent locations +1 power. Activate. Create a rock with 4 power here, and activate double this card's power. So this is essentially HERBIE. Brilliant, I just called him HERBIE. What a dickhead. It's essentially HERBIE emulating the powers of the Fantastic Four and some of the new Fantastic Four cards, as you'll see as we go through them. But yeah, I think this looks really good. I've given him 4 stars. I think there is a certain amount of flexibility to him, that generally speaking, these powers are these abilities, these activate abilities, they are rather powerful. Sure, the Create a Rock with 4 power, that is like a 2/6 in stats, so not crazy mind-blowing, and you're taking up 2 spaces, but it's sort of fine. You've got double this card's power, which could be really good if you're buffing him and stuff. Give your cards at adjacent locations +1 power. That's really interesting. Do you want to more often than not play Herbie at the middle location? Because that is a potential +8. Like on the final turn, that could be a potential +8, which is crazy. And then probably the best one really is the get 2 energy next turn. So you're playing Herbie on 2. It's possible he'll cycle through that ability on turn 3. It means that on turn 4 you can play a 6-drop. So pretty interesting stuff. Seems cool. Next up we've got the week after Human Torch. He's a 3/2, end of turn, +1 power. Once per game, if your side here is full, double this card's power instead. So this is where I think we're slotting in a brand new archetype. I did it with Captain America. I said Captain America was a new archetype. Certainly a sub-archetype. I think Captain America is kind of like a sub-archetype of move/ongoing. I think Fantastic Four is kind of a sub-archetype of either Silky Smooth /Zoo. It's kind of one of those, basically, because as again we'll see in a second with another new card, some of these Fantastic Four cards get benefits or bonuses from filling the location. So that is a mechanic that we've seen sort of toyed with in the past, like Elsa Bloodstone, for example. I'd consider her a Fantastic Four archetype card now. Sorry, that was just, I wasn't like, I hope, yeah. That's fine. I shouldn't really have addressed that, but I did. And then like Mojo perhaps is kind of like one that I would slot into this Fantastic Four style. But yeah, an archetype where you want to fill a location in order to get a benefit. So that's now a thing here. I think he's also going to fit in buffs because, of course, with that end game ability of him doubling power, that could be extremely powerful. Also, note here that it says end of turn, and it's the doubling his power ability is part of his end of turn, which means if you fill the location only on the final turn, he's going to be able to avoid Shang-Chi. Pretty interesting there. He's also going to fit, I think, in the Surfer archetype, because of course, think about Silver Surfer, you're doing that on the final turn as well. Human Torch just starts sort of becoming like his own Shaw, or a better Shaw in some ways, and Zoo decks as well, of course, because they like filling locations as well. So I've given him 4 stars. I think he's extremely interesting. Yes, his power starts a little bit low, but if you do play him on turn 3, actually by the end of the game, he's, let me just do the maths, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, that's embarrassing. Turn 3. Okay, turn 3, you're playing him on turn 3, he will be 3. Okay, so it just matches. So on turn 6, he'll be 6. If you then fill that location, he'll be 12. So, yes, you are having to put a lot of cards into that location, but absolutely huge benefit. And that could be really easy to do. So yeah, sick. And oh, by the way, really interesting that he has synergy with Silver Surfer, because Silver Surfer is sort of a Fantastic Four adjacent card. Next up, it's The Thing. He's a 5/6, end of turn, +2 power, so kind of similar to Human Torch, right? Once per game, if your side here is full, destroy an enemy card here with lesser power. So, that's sick. That's crazy. Yes, he's going to kill a card with lesser power, so it could easily hit something really small like a Spider-Ham, just off the top of my head. But if your opponent is like hoping to have a big load of power in one location, and you play The Thing there, and your Thing grows, as it will, Thing will grow to, if you play him on curve, a 10 power card at the end of the game. So it's killing Shang-Chi-able stuff potentially, well, almost. But again, you can play him on a buff deck, and then if you get his power even higher, his ability to counteract and destroy something gets even higher. So yeah, really, really like him. Just seems really good. I was about... That's so cringe. I was about to say the artwork's really good as well. Absolute idiot. What a clown I am. But yeah, I think I spoke about the archetypes, but they're on screen. It's similar to all the others. They all have vaguely similar archetypes, I'd say. And that's no bad thing. Right, moving on to the final member of the Fantastic Four here. We've got Invisible Woman. She's a 3/4. Activate. This turn, your end of turn abilities happen twice. So when it says this turn, it's actually, I mean, it's going to be... Oh no, is it going to be... No, it's going to be... You activate her, And it is that turn, the end of that turn. Yeah, fine. So I just needed to work that out in my head. Yeah, anyway, I've given her 4.5 stars. So this is one of the key cards that is truly bringing together the end of turn archetype. Just think about the kinds of cards that we already have access to that are end of turn cards. Not even these Fantastic Four ones that we've just spoken about, which already are just crazy with Invisible Woman. You're only getting one extra turn, remember? So it's one extra trigger, but even so, that's still fantastic. But just the ones that we've got already, my head's going to Marvel Boy. Marvel Boy and Invisible Woman getting that extra +3. She's already paying for herself so greatly. And that's even if you just have one. So stacking it like an Adam Warlock, really, really strong. Yeah, I love her. She seems really good. I love activate cards in general as well. And yeah, love a new archetype. So yeah, very excited for this one. Eson. There's plenty more I could talk about as well. Anyway, let's move on to the next. Again, this is just a scratch, guys. This is nothing to worry about. Just a scratch. Next up, we've got... Actually, this is the first of our cards that we don't exactly know how we're going to get them. So this is should be available through seasonal Series 4 snap packs. Don't know if this is going to be through a game mode or similar to cards that we just had, like Batroc the Leaper. Oh, sorry, was I pronouncing it incorrectly in my previous videos? Is it Batroc? Anyway, Batroc, Fanfei, and third one, Topaz. Yeah, is it going to be an injection into the game like that? We don't know. Anyway, it's Fantasticar. Fantasticar is a 4/6 activate, give your end of turn cards +2 power. So again, similar to Invisible Woman, this is really defining the end of turn archetype. You stick all these cards in one deck. Now, at the moment, we probably don't have quite enough end of turn cards to have a particularly expansive pool. So you probably will often be doing a similar thing. It probably will be like a Marvel Boy, Fantastic Four, fill all the location type thing. That's what I would envision. But it's just potentially really powerful. Let's say you're doing this on the final turn of the game. You could apparently I've got the itchiest nose in the world right now. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry guys. But yeah, you've got what? You certainly easily have what, 6 or 7 end of turn cards? So that's a +14 on top of the 6 power from Fantasticar. It's like a 20 power play. So potentially incredibly powerful. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about like Spectrum levels, aren't we? And it's an activate card. Yeah, it seems absolutely wild to me, guys. Yeah, I've given it 4 stars, but honestly, the sky is the limit for this card, in my humble opinion. And then we've got Mad Thinker. Again, one of the ones available probably through Seasonal Series 4 snap packs. He's a 1/1. At the start of each turn, gain +2 power if your hand is full after you draw. Absolutely love this. More support for like hand size stuff, which we've seen with Devil Dinosaur. Yeah, I just love it when they push archetypes that aren't really... do I mean archetype? Basically, push mechanics further. Because what we're like probably a card away from having a full-blown hand size mechanic. I know we've got Devil Dinosaur, and that's already a really strong potential payoff for this type of card, but I think we need a few more cards that actually feed into hand size, and then we'll be there. And also, let's just remember, guys, this is a really high scale, potentially really high scaling card for a 1 cost. Gains +2. Sure, it can be a little bit tricky to make sure that you've got a full hand. Fortunately, it is at the start of each turn rather than the end, because that would be a bloody night. Well, that would sort of be impossible without shield cards. Anyway, you're going to be playing him with shield cards anyway. Yeah, I just like the look of him. 3.5 stars. And then our last card today is our worst, in my humble opinion. It's Mole Man. He's a 3/3. On reveal, banish the top card of your deck. Add 2 rocks to your hand with power set to the banished card's cost. So if you banish a Silver Surfer, for example, you are going to have 2 1/3 rocks added to your hand. I've given him 2.5 stars. I don't know which archetypes he's fitting into yet. I mean, you could say something like Patriot, but I would almost counter-argue and say Patriot is such an important card in that deck, you almost can't risk banishing a card in case that's going to be Patriot. I would also like highlight Kate Bishop here, right? Kate Bishop is a 2/3, adding 2 cards to your hand, generally totaling, they're an average of like 3 power, or what I would say is 3 power worth of value, whether you would consider a -2 clog on your opponent's side. I don't know if you take the clog into consideration there. But in my humble opinion, they're about 1/3s, aren't they? You've got the Pym arrow, which is technically more. You've got the grapple arrow, which is literally a 1/3. I mean, you're not always playing those. It's a lot of room to space. So, I mean, what kind of deck are you really using Mole Man in? Do you go, oh, okay, I want to banish Death or another 6-cost card? So do you play him with a lot of higher costed cards? And then you're adding a couple of rocks to your hand that are maybe like 1/6s, 1/5s, 1/8s maybe. Yeah, I mean, that is obviously good. Of course that's obviously good, but just what else are you doing in that deck? What does the rest of that deck look like? So I'm not too sure about it. Anyway, am I missing something? As always, let me know in the comments below what you think of these cards and this video and vibe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.